Hi, my name is Stacy Guzman, and I will be talking about what is it that I have learned exactly in this public speaking class. This is my first time, obviously, taking this class, so I did find it a bit difficult and a challenge for me only because I'm not the type to come across to somebody, or I do have a stage fright as well myself. I'm not very good when it comes to making speeches or just in regards to any topic at all, only because I do get to seem to get distracted and I do fall off of the topic and I do lead into something else. So this was a great chance for me to learn what needs to be in order and what needs to be priority first in order for me to get my information across to you guys, so that way you guys are able to understand me. So throughout this, I will discuss to you basically about this whole class. So the goal I had for this class was mostly to have a better vocabulary and to have a better understanding of how to make it much more easier for me to explain it to you guys, to anybody, to my audience. That way you guys will be as informative as I was or am toward the topic. I want you guys to understand me the way that I understand the topic itself. So because like I said, I did have a hard time getting that across, and later on in the topic or in the speech, I did get to doze off and it didn't make any sense. Though everything was so unorganized, and it didn't connect with what the whole main point was of the whole topic. So in regards to me adapting to the audience, of course, it's not the same as it would be in class, only because of the whole pandemic. And of course, because it is online as well. But I did find it a way for me as a step for me to be able to, of course, just be able to get the kind of experience to having an audience, whether if it's either just through Zoom or if it's just through one person. That way, I'm able to get the experience, just a little bit of how it is to be actually having a live audience and having a speech to do for them. So I did have to adapt to that, only because, like I said, I'm not the type to come across as a confident person when it comes to a topic that I would discuss over. So that was a big adapting that I had to do through this whole class. The researching for any topic that we had did throughout this class, I did find some things a bit difficult to find information of, so I did have to try to search as much as I can through the internet. One of my speeches, which would be my expository speech, I did talk in regards to my the three major religions. That was one of the most difficult facts that I did have to get, only because a lot of people over the internet would just discuss on what they think, but it wasn't actually true facts that were really backed up with real facts, if that makes sense. So I did have to make sure I found the correct and accurate, of course, something that was stated as realistic and not something that came off as an opinion that somebody had. So that was the researching was a bit hard, but I did get the information that I needed, of course, for my topics. So you just have to make sure that for each topic that you do, you get the correct, accurate information that does back up your topic and something that is known to be true. Of course, there's a lot of information that gets to be told over the internet throughout day to day, every hour. So you want to make sure you get the correct and accurate information. So researching was a big obstacle I did have to overcome in this class. Outlining. I wasn't really quite familiar when it came to outlining. Throughout my education, I didn't really do a lot of outlining when it came to any speeches. I did know the whole persuasive and expository, but I didn't really know, we didn't really discuss the outline of it. So that was one thing I did have to learn. The outline that the professor did show or demonstrated to us was much more easier, so that was easier for me to comprehend and for me to be able to do it step by step. Of course, it did take time for me to understand it, so I don't think I'm the best, but I do think I did progress myself from what I first started to what I am now. So that's one thing I really do appreciate, and I think that outlining did really help. The visual aids, I believe you only did one PowerPoint, and I loved it. I love doing any type of PowerPoint. So of course, I do think that we should have maybe done a little bit more PowerPoint presentations, only because I do think that that would help us a lot throughout our lives. Maybe in anything that we consider on doing in our careers, I do think that is something that will be touch base back on later on. So but other than that, my visual aids, I do think I did a good job, but I would have liked to do it much more, so that way I would be able to be understand it more, so that way I know that it won't be something that I won't remember when I do have to come across to it later on in my life. But throughout the whole public speaking semester, I did get to learn a lot, sorry, and I'm very grateful for it. So because like I mentioned, it is something that we are gonna have to do later on, and it's never too late to, maybe you have taken this class back in the past and you wanted to touch bases on, because like I said, everything does change day by day, so it's new information that you can take from any other professor. Maybe each professor has its own ways and different opinions on what they can do throughout this class. Maybe they have better ways, or I think every way is good to learn, but in this class I do think it was a good class for me to take, and I'm really grateful for it. And I hope to wish any other student that comes on to this class for next semester that they try the hardest. Thank you.